Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2017. This is Lorena's Love Letters. I'm starting the second week of this challenge for myself. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. Since it's January, this is a typical time of year for people to do New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. So I was thinking about how I like to change the language about that. You'll see that's kind of a common theme in my videos is being mindful about words we use and how we speak about these common tropes like resolutions. So what I was thinking about this is resolutions tend to, well, first of all, they tend to fail. They're usually these big monumental things like I want to do this huge thing this year or whatever. And I think the way I would go about it, if we were to break this down into something that may be a little bit more manageable, is paying more attention to, or being aware of what path you want to take in your life. Okay? So this is even bigger. This is even more long term than just this year. But when you start to think about the path you want to be on in your life, you can then break it down to what steps do I need to take on that path? And how can I break that down so that I can behave and act this year in a way that keeps me on the path I want to be on? A lot of us, I think, are more apathetic about our lives and just kind of let life pass you by, and you're not really engaged, and so you would just end up with the life that you have without really consciously choosing things. So, dare to think about this and dare to choose, right? And I guess what I'm getting at is that you may find it to be a lot more powerful if you specifically note a step that you're taking for a goal that you want long term, as opposed to saying, I want to try and achieve that big goal. And so let's go through a really simple example, right? Let's say, even though this is one I absolutely hate, is I want to lose 50 pounds, right, or 30 pounds, or whatever, and so this is the goal you have in mind, and so you decide that you're going to go to gym 3 times a week, and blah 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 blah. But what if your goal was just to lose 2 pounds this month or 3 pounds this month? Well, then what's the step you have to take, right? And it's kind of like breaking things down to be a bit smaller, and they're a lot more manageable, and they make a lot more sense. And then the step that you're taking is a literal step. Maybe you're like, no, I will choose to walk a bit more, leave my car a little bit further away, park a little bit further away, take the stairs instead of the elevator, where you're literally taking steps to meet the smaller goal, because that one means it's a little bit more easier to manage, right? And I really don't like that idea about making losing weight a goal, because I don't believe that losing weight should be a goal. I think that just makes you less of you, and that if anything, your goal may be to feel healthier or feel better about yourself, and that can take many, many different ways. So I don't like that example. But it's the one I came up with because of the literal steps. So what else can we talk about? Well, the idea about your path and where you want to be in your life sometimes can be pretty scary to think about, especially if you see your life going in a very different direction. And I hear a lot of, there's a very common trope about, well, it's not trope, but very common theme about manifesting what you want and putting all your intention out there to get what you want. And there is something that, I do follow some of this stuff, but there's a little caveat I want to add in there, because a lot of this stuff, like The Secret and all these things, the law of attraction and whatever, it's got some major flaws. And I think one of the biggest ones is the idea that they're not taking in to account the privilege that a person has or doesn't have. So someone who's a lot less privileged in our society cannot actually get things as easily. And no matter how much they want it and how much they try and how much they put their energy in, there is discrimination that happens all the time, all around us, and on many, many different levels. And I think it's really important to recognize that not everyone is privileged enough to just put their intention out there and things will happen to them. So if you do have a certain amount of privilege in your life, be grateful for that and try not to push it down other people's throats. Like, I could do it, so can you. You know? I recognize how much privilege I have in my life. How I had a family that was always there for me. How, I could list off so many things, right? Education, everything, right? And that's what allowed me to live the life that I lead today. And it's not everyone that can do that. And I totally recognize that. So with that, be mindful about the sphere of influence you have on your life. Be mindful as to where exactly you do have an influence, so that you can make decisions and take steps within that sphere. That's pretty much what I've got to say. And I'm sure you're gonna have questions about this, because I don't know if it was very clear even in my own head, but feel free to contact me. I'm really happy to have conversations around this. And that's it. So the day of Lorena's love letters. To see you again tomorrow.